Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, I want to talk about how can we improve in our marriage. This is for all the marrieds. And the main topic that I want to focus on is the tiny habits of love. Love. It's a very beautiful thing. We all want it. We all love to experience it. And in fact, we all have experienced love in one way or another. It could be experiencing love when we were growing up with our parents, our siblings, or it could be those times where you experience love, enjoying time with your friends, hanging out together, or of course, for us who are married, it is those times where we spend those eternal moments of sweetness with our spouse. Love is a wonderful thing. But yet sometimes we find it hard in this course of love, and there are many difficult situations and events, conflicts. So what are some things that can help us to improve our love, our relationship with our spouse? So today, the one thing I want to talk about is creating this habit, tiny habits of love. It's a very powerful concept. Tiny habits of love can make or actually break our relationship. You see, the whole idea, tiny habits of love. When you think about the word tiny, right? Habits of love. It is not those big things that we do for our spouse, but tiny little things. When you think about tiny, what's the problem? It is so easily overlooked because we look at it as, oh, it's just a small thing, it's just a tiny habit, and we forget to do those small little habits that will increase our love for one another. When I think about tiny habits, just small habits, I remember the very first time I learned to drive a car. And after getting my driver license, one of the things that my dad taught me that has really helped me with my cars is this habit. It's a small habit, a tiny habit. My dad says the beginning of every month, you need to do this small habit. You need to open your engine, check the motor oil, and make sure that you have enough motor oil in your engine. It's a tiny habit, something to do every month at the beginning of the month. But doing that has really helped me in my car and helped the maintenance of my car. I can remember there was once where I was driving, right, with my car, and I did not know that the engine was actually leaking oil. Cars, after a while, it will leak oil, okay, because the gaskets and different things that seal the engine get old and breaks, and the oil leaks. And this time the leak was not intense, but it leaks every day without me knowing. Then, guess what? I've forgotten to do that tiny habit of checking the engine oil. So 1 month passed, 2 months passed, and I totally forgotten. I took it for granted. I overlooked it. As I was driving one day, I began to smell. Smell like something burning. I don't see any smoke coming out from the engine, but I smell like something burning. There's nothing in the car that's burning. And then my wife told me, hey, you better park to the side and check. So I drove to the side, checked, opened up the hood, checked the engine oil. Oh my goodness, it was empty. And no wonder I was smelling burning. It's because the engine, okay, the piston was rubbing against the engine, the wall of the engine, and it's creating the burning smell. And it's burning the engine basically. So I quickly went to get some oil from the station and top up that engine, the motor oil. See, brothers and sisters, tiny habits, small habit, it could either make or break the engine. And the same way with our relationships, with our spouse, our marriage, these tiny habits can make or break your relationship. And it's so routine, tiny habit, right? So routine, automatic. We do it without thinking. It's so easily forgotten and overlooked because we think it's so small. It so looks insignificant. And then we don't do it. But yet, tiny habits of love are actually acts of affection. Acts of affections that you can give towards one another. There's a saying, little things matter most. Little things matter most. Let me read to you the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 34. 4 things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise. Ants are creatures of little strength, yet they store up their food in the summer. So this is a Proverbs about ants, tiny creatures. I know it doesn't talk about love, but the whole concept, the principle apply. 4 things that are small, yet what they do is so significant. The ants are tiny creatures, but they slowly store up their food in the summer so that when winter time comes, they will have abundance of food. And in that same way, in our relationship, those tiny acts, tiny habits of love, we put in each other's heart. It will help us to grow in our marriage and in our relationship. Here are some practicals that you can do. And of course, habits, we all know, it takes time to to form into a concrete habit. So I'm going to share with you a few. Just pick 1, 2, and start doing it. How about this? Tiny habit of love. A gentle smile in the morning. Every morning your spouse go to work, just give a gentle smile. A warm embrace or hug when you see each other. You know, when your spouse come back from work or when you meet each other in church, hey, give each other a big warm hug. A loving hug. Tiny habits of love. Holding hands when you go out together. You know, when we were dating, we loved to hold hands together. But then, after we get married, what do we hold? We hold the children's hand, but our spouse's hand is nowhere to be found. Or we hold our suitcase, our briefcases, our grocery bags, but our spouse's hand is like, oh, it's not there. So easily overlooked. Calling or texting each other throughout the day, saying things like, I love you, I missed you, I cannot wait to see you, or how is your day? Just tiny little messages. You know, I know for Valentine's Day, just recently, I arrived early in the morning. I reminded myself, send a e-message of love. I found a nice little picture of a Valentine greeting, and then I wrote a small little message, not too much, you know, a few paragraphs, and I sent it to my wife. She woke up, she read it. I could see tears, a little bit, not too much, in her eyes. And she was beaming with joy. And she gave me a kiss. See, brothers and sisters, just tiny little messages, tiny habits of love. How about this? Pray together every night before you sleep. Doesn't have to be a long prayer, just a short prayer. Reading and discussing the scriptures together. Scheduling a weekly evening date. Don't forget, many times before we had children, we were dating our wife. Or simply enjoying each other's presence, sitting together, looking at the sky, or going to the beach side, enjoying each other's presence. Whatever it is, find your own tiny habits of love. And I guarantee you it will really improve your relationship with your spouse. I'll see you again